Hello people, my name is Adrian Fernandez. Today we will talk about Marcos Evangelista Pérez Jiménez, born in Michelin, Venezuela on April 25 in 1914. He was a military man and politician Venezuelan. The 36th president of that Latin American country, specifically during the period between 1952 and 1958. With the right-wing party and nationalist civic crusade, he was elected senator in 1968, position of which he was dismissed. Marcos Pérez Jiménez presented a government of national authoritarian roots based of the pragmatism that identified his personality and a nationalist expressed in the new national idea. What would he do? Philosophical to guide the action of your government. It promote the immigration of capital and foreign people, mainly European communities such as the Spanish, Italian, and Portuguese. It also promotes an infrastructure and reinforce concrete program. With the construction of buildings, highways, bridges, and large-scale wars with which it murdered the country put under a strong military dictatorship. He did in Alcobendas, Spain, of September 20, 2001. My name is Adrian Fernandez. Thanks for attention.
Hi, my name is Orlando Nieto. His government started winning the elections on 1952, considered fraudulent by his oppositors and point selected as president. Before ending his constitutional period, he summoned a plebiscite on 1957 with the aim of lengthening his period in front of the country for more 5 years. Opposition was considering this referendum was opposed the Venezuela Constitution of 1953. It contemplates that president election should be carried out with several candidates and be direct elections. In the end, Pérez Jiménez won and continued on up the appointment as president. His period in front of Venezuela was characterized for a thin hand and the biggest socioeconomic progress. He was worried about the necessity to create new infrastructures, as the towers of the Simón Bolívar Center of or the wall of the process to revitalize nation. He, he invested biggest amount of money and effort in military development, increased the national security, but also the control absorbed the people the approval of law of boons and thugs. Is one of his actions more polemic and remembered. This law allowed to persecute and imprison homeless people for a simple fact that paying people without money, and for that reason they could commit and crime in the future. During Pérez Jiménez government, established a strong nationalist feeling that's based on ideological pragmatism, which led him to create the doctrine of national good, which promoted capital in immigration. He took the responsibility to create the country, although he did under and hard dictatorship to finish by a military coup on January of 1958. Thanks.
Buenas tardes, my name is Yolanda Méndez. Vengo a presentar último worker with your government de Marcos Pérez Jiménez. Guri command tears were making some many projects with this present worthless this month infrastructure for his country. No guardis. No guardi, no guardis. Summon 40 are active. The week only were this month avancing and habitude this con éxito y in war for the moment. Among these were for war calling au au Auvergne de 1953 a 1958. Caracas La Guaira y Caracas La Guaira is going classified and this expressive is going in war. This one only for the most important war money in Latin America. El diacudo número 1, this van, this one, this thing, origen, ECT, this league for states. Ter large bring us war is fair door on man 19. Aquí tenemos la autopista regional del centro, la autopista del este, la autopista del Valle del Coche, la avenida Urdaneta, la planta siderúrgica del Orinoco, uno de los complejos siderúrgicos más grandes del mundo. El Hotel Humboldt, ícono de la arquitectura moderna de Venezuela, construida hace 7 meses, con el récord más reconocido. Entre los edificios más importantes podemos encontrar el Jardín Botánico de la Universidad Central de Venezuela, la biblioteca de Henry Peters, Large Bring House World is Fair Door on Man 19. Aquí tenemos la autopista regional del centro, la autopista del este, la autopista del Valle del Coche, la avenida Urdaneta, la planta siderúrgica del Orinoco, uno de los complejos siderúrgicos más grandes del mundo. El Hotel Humboldt, ícono de la arquitectura moderna de Venezuela, construida hace 7 meses, con el récord más reconocido. Entre los edificios más importantes podemos encontrar el Jardín Botánico de la Universidad Central de Venezuela, la biblioteca de Henry Peters.
Hello everyone, my name is Eudis de May and I go to talk about the cause of overthrow. General Marcos Pérez Jiménez was a dictator who carried out executions, torture, raids, and all the criminal activity of a military government. This was one of the causes that led to his overthrow. During his dictatorship, the press and radio were censored. Unions were also banned and their leaders were jailed. Also, inhumane jails were reopened, such as the Guasina prisons, where political opponents were found. National security, the political police of the dictatorship, searched without a warrant and tortured or killed the detainees. Many of the resources available to dictatorship were used to execute urban and social plans. However, some high-ranking officials divert funds for their own benefit. Corruption acts were committed in favor of the people or companies close to the government, which in some cases placed their great fortune abroad. Another of the causes that led to the fall of General Marcos Pérez Jiménez was the military crisis that originated from the events of January 1st, 1958, which interrupted the absolute power that President had while the Air Force until then. In this sense, the uprising of Air Force officers at the Boca del Rio base near the city of Maracay and the armored body of the Jordanet barrack in Caracas, under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Hugo Trejo, produced or evidence a leadership crisis. The political crisis within the government itself was the result of the decomposition and division of the government after the December 1957 plebiscite, which led to two successive cabinet changes on January 10th and 13th of 1958, respectively, and the departure of the people close to the dictator who were paying with the Air Force, Laureano Vallenilla Lanz, Minister of the Interior until then, and Pedro Estrada, head of the regime's political policy and national security.
Hello everyone, my name is Ricardo Rivas and I'm going to talk about the history of the overthrow. Let's start. One of the organizations with a big impulse on the process what led to the Marcos Pérez Jiménez government falling was La Junta Patriótica, JP, on June 11, 1957, and the journalist house, Fabricio Ojeda. A preparatory meeting had been set up with the assistance of Almical Gómez, José Vicente Rangel, and Ojeda himself, in the presentation of Unión Republicana Democrática, URD. From the Partido Comunista de Venezuela, PCP, had attended B. Guillermo García Pons and On June 13 was added the Dr. Pedro Pablo Aguilar from Copey. On January 1st, 1958, occurred the first intent of the military insurrection against Pérez Jiménez. The movement, led by the Colonel Hugo Trejo, had the participation of several officers from Caracas and Maracay garrison, mainly by the Air Force. This military insurrection failed, and their main leaders were captured by the government. However, from the 1st of January, the internal crisis of the dictatorship became more severe every day. Occurred new insurrectional outbreaks in the Air Force, and the popular movement manifested itself with more vigor in the fight against the dictator. Repression increased. Jails were full of the political prisoners. High schools were closed, and the student movement repressed. But the popular was on the rise. Several social sectors were actively joining the fight: intellectuals, doctors, lawyers, professors, and their manifested comments against the dictatorship. This made the losses of the prestige on the army station that upper committee, in fact, to the regiment's actions. On the street to take place manifestations and the riots.
The overthrow. Starting from the events of January 1st and in the face of manifest political and military crisis of the Paris Jiménez regime, various manifestos began to be published against the shaky government, since by representative men and women from diverse fields of the economic activity, professional and cultural, as well as public pronouncements from national institutions such as the College of Engineers, the Venezuelan Association of the Journalists, Labor's Federation, and business sectors, until they had not openly expressed their repudiation of the dictatorship. All strict action against the regime, they had their peak moment in the general strike of January 21st, mobilized by Patrick Board, union of the various political parties, together with students, businessmen, as the popular masses. We took a united character. We provided the necessary support to the resistance officers. On January 22nd, in 1958, senior military chiefs met at the military academy to consider the situation. Their deliberation concluded by forming a military government, June asking for the resignation of Marcos Pérez Jiménez. On the night of 22nd, the Navy and the garrison of Caracas, they spoke out against the dictatorship, and the director, deprived of all support in the army's force, decided to leave from the Miraflores Palace and transferred to La Carlota Airport, located in the city of Caracas, to taking a plane with Boldrin and Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, in the early morning of January 23 in 1958. Thanks for your attention.
Well, consequence of the overthrow. Today, you can hear the news of the overthrow. Angry most took to the street across to the country to celebrate the fall to regime and try to finish as the official who had been vision in political persecution. The house of the followers of the regime were locked. Members of the national security were lynched. Others hid for a long time or escaped abroad. They all destroyed the headquarters and equipment of the official newspaper El Heraldo. In a few hours, and amid the tense climate, the party launched their presidential campaigns. Miraflores Village became the meeting place of the rebel and county political leaders, and personalities were proceeded to name a provisional government board that would replace the ousted regime. The board was formed with Rear Admiral Wolfgang Roswell as president, and Colonel Carlos Luis Araque, Pedro José Quevedo, Roberto Casanova, and Abel Romero Villegas. Police began launch president campaigns and signed the Pacto of Punto Fijo, where the committee to hold out the constitution and to recognize the election result is established. Subsequently, the governing war called election for December of the same year. Political prisoners throughout the country are released. The patriotic war is expanded with representatives of independent sectors, and the journalist Fabricio Ojeda is ratified in this presidency. The process of punishment is open to the representatives of the regiment governing until sight return. In those days, a new stage in the history of contemporary Venezuela began definitely. My name is Luis Avila. Thanks for your attention.